From your weather authority, your KTAB forecast first.
Well, I hope you have some outdoor activities planned tomorrow because it's going to be a spectacular day to get outside. We'll start up with a little bit of a chilly morning, 48 degrees, and southerly winds tomorrow 5 to 10 miles an hour. So that's not going to be near as breezy as we've had the last couple of days. Near 70 degrees by noontime and another 80-degree afternoon. Perfect for getting outside before things take a turn on St. Patrick's Day. We'll get to that in just a moment. That's your forecast first. KTAB News at 10 starts now.
Proud to serve Abilene in the big country with coverage you can count on. This is KTAB News at 10.
It was a big night for Donald Trump, John Kasich, and Hillary Clinton. KTAB, your election central, has complete primary results from Super Tuesday 3. Plus, answering the question no one seems to want to ask. An Abilene mother talks about her son's rare condition. And it's not every day you get to celebrate being 135. KTAB's Ricky Ray learns how Abilene grew from its big country roots. Good evening. Thank you for choosing KTAB News tonight. I'm Brittany Paletz. Bob is away this evening. Primary results are starting to come in with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump picking up the most wins so far, and the GOP field just got smaller. Weijia Zhang has more in tonight's top story.
CBS News projects Donald Trump won Florida and all of its 99 delegates, as well as Illinois and North Carolina.
We have something happening that actually makes the Republican Party probably the biggest political story anywhere in the world.
Governor John Kasich took the other big prize, all 66 delegates in his home state of Ohio.
I have to thank the people of the great state of Ohio. I love you, is all I can tell you. I love you.
Florida Senator Marco Rubio decided to end his bid for the presidency after losing his home state to Trump.
After tonight, it is clear that while we are on the right side, this year, we will not be on the winning side.
CBS News projects Hillary Clinton has extended her delegate lead with wins in Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio.
We are moving closer to securing the Democratic Party nomination and winning this election in November.
Bernie Sanders put his efforts into winning in the Midwest.
We are doing something very radical in American politics. We're telling the truth.
Exit polls show Clinton is seen as the candidate more likely to beat Trump in the general election. Weijia Zhang, KTAB News.
Now, the primary in Missouri is still too close to call. Abilene police are asking for your help finding this robbery suspect. In this surveillance footage, you can see he has a white sheet over his face and he is armed with a knife. This crime happened on January 29th, but investigators believe that he's responsible for other robberies in the area. He was featured as part of KTAB's weekly Crime Stoppers segment. If you recognize the suspect or his clothing, call Crime Stoppers at 325-676-8477. A Brownwood man is sentenced to 10 years in prison after pleading guilty to 2 sex crimes today. 19-year-old Gavin Gill pleaded guilty to aggravated sexual assault of a child and sexual assault of a child. Jail records indicate that at least one of the victims was under 14 years old. Gill has been awaiting trial in the Brown County Jail since August of 2015. He also has 4 outstanding possession of child pornography charges. After taking several trips to the grocery store and getting strange looks, an Abilene mother is speaking out about her son's rare condition. Tonight, she explains why she'd rather be approached and asked about it than getting blank stares. KTAB Night Beat reporter Ashley Gooden is live in studio with the story. Ashley?
Brittany, Marissa Davis is the mother of 5-month-old Camden. Camden has a rare condition that causes his skull to grow abnormally, and the helmet he has to wear is working to correct that. Other than his helmet, Camden is your regular 5-month-old boy. Baby Camden is fascinated by the sport of basketball.
He loves to come to the gym and watch his brother play. He loves to watch his family members play, pretty much anybody play. If we just go to a gym, he's satisfied and happy.
It runs in his family. Today he's watching his older brother Caden practice.
I play because it's my favorite sport and I'm pretty good at it.
Soon, Camden will play too, but right now, His mother's biggest concern is helping him grow up like a normal little boy.
And I noticed a ridge on his head, and also noticed that his head was really growing only long-wise, elongated.
So she headed to Google and found sagittal craniosynostosis.
It was very scary for us to go through this. We were lucky that it was caught early enough for him to have an endoscopic procedure and not have to have the CVR surgery, which is a full surgery where they go in and have to rebuild the full skull.
He's only had one surgery, but others of the 1 in 2,000 children affected sometimes have to have more. He'll have to wear helmets until he's 18 months old.
If you think there's something wrong, if you think your child has an abnormal shaped head, go to your pediatrician, because a lot of these kids go undiagnosed for many years. There's a lot of great pediatricians here in Abilene that know about this condition, but just, ask questions, be an advocate for your child.
For now, Camden's doing a different kind of dribbling. But when he gets his hand on a ball,
I think it'll be pretty exciting.
So what are you going to teach him?
How to dunk it.
As soon as he can pick it up and start to dribble it, he can start playing.
Camden's helmets are priced around $3,700 a piece, and he'll be needing 5 or 6 more as he grows. Live in studio, I'm Ashley Gooden, KTAB News. Back to you, Brittany.
All right, thank you, Ashley. For those helmets, the Davis family will be having a garage sale fundraiser on April 2nd. You can find out more details on our website, bigcountryhomepage.com. Donations from fellow firefighters helped to replace damaged gear for a Big Country Fire Department. The new fire truck you just saw was delivered to the Eula Volunteer Fire Station this afternoon. It was filled with these helmets, bunker gear, boots, and other equipment. The Texas A&M Forest Service helped to collect donations after the Highline fire about a month and a half ago. The fire damaged 2 fire trucks, and Eula Volunteer firefighters have been using 20-year-old rundown bunker gear to fight fires since then.
You go into a couple of fires and you burn your suit. It's time for another suit. Well, up until this point, the only thing we could do was hope somebody donates us a suit.
The Texas A&M Forest Service tells KTAB News that multiple fire departments across the state also helped with the donations. The money collected amounted to $750,000. Well, Abilene turned 135 years old today. The railroad is what helped to put Abilene on the map all those years ago. KTAB's Ricky Ray has the story in this week's Big Country Roots.
135 years ago, Abilene was just a dream.
There'd been a dream about a southern transcontinental railroad from the 1850s on, with the assumption that it would beat the Northerners from building their transcontinental railroad through Wyoming into Northern California. Didn't happen.
But after the Civil War, America saw its closest presidential election ever.
Got to the Electoral College. It was finally decided by one vote in the Electoral College.
And then a compromise was made,
whereby the Republican would be allowed to become president, Rutherford B. Hayes, and in return the South would get the end of Reconstruction and help on a transcontinental railroad.
And 135 years ago, Abilene was found.
Not only was Abilene founded 135 years ago, but in that same year, the railroad was introduced to the town. Passengers would step off of the train onto the platform, come down these steps and through this tunnel, and that's where they would first get their impressions of the Key City.
There's always people kind of frolicking about in Everman Park, and you can kind of hear them scream and ooh and ah when it comes through.
The railroad's history still thrives in the city of Abilene because without it...
Well, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the railroad.
It defines so many of the things that we have today, like the names of the streets, the layout of the town. All of that is directly dependent upon the railroad.
It's taken 135 years for Abilene to become what it is today, but it never would have happened without the railroad. So happy birthday to the Key City. Reporting in Abilene, Ricky Ray, KTAB News.
All right, thank you, Ricky. According to the history books, the railroad might have gone through Buffalo Gap as well. People would fight over land, and the Native Americans would also move property lines while people were too busy fighting over who gets what land. Coming up on KTAB News at 10, a father is dead and his son in custody after a shootout that critically injured a Fort Worth police officer. And on a much lighter note, Sam is here with our spring break continuing forecast. Sam?
Hey, just a footnote to the story that Ashley did on Camden. His mother, Marissa, was an all-state player at GymNet on a state championship team coached by the legendary Charles Parnell. So no doubt that Camden's going to be a great player as well, like his brother and his mother, who still has plenty of basketball in her. Let's take a look at our numbers from today. We start off at 57 degrees, jumped up to 77. Now, I want to draw your attention to our record high and our record low. Kind of interesting, just typical of West Texas in the spring. Our record low of 22 in 1962, but a year earlier in 1961, we set the record high temperature for today in history of 88. Never can tell this time of year. We have some changes coming this week. We'll talk about those in just a moment.
You're watching KTAB News at 10 with Bob Bartlett,
Brittany Paletz,
and Chief Meteorologist Sam Nichols.